For me, I think the biggest thing that football taught me was how to overcome adversity.
At some point in your life, you're going to have some tough times.
You have to have that next play mentality.
That cohesiveness and that working together, that's really something special that you can't get in a lot of other areas.
When you practice that and you live that in other phases of your life, it becomes second nature because all you know how to do is fight.
It's not an easy game. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
You start to appreciate the smaller contributions that people make. You don't just look at the big one because you knew it took 6 or 7 other guys who are unsung.
And you can't take shortcuts and be successful.
Doing what they do to make it possible for the guy getting the press clippings or whatever it might be.
In this game, whether it's as a coach or a player.
So I would certainly say that you definitely got a very quick lesson in how to overcome adversity playing football.
Welcome to FootballGameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and welcome to our 2017 February NFL mock draft. And this one will be a small college mock draft, and we always will start with some mock draft rules. And number one, this is a small college mock draft, which means small colleges are the FCS, Division II, Division III, NAIA, and any JUCO prospects that decides to leave early and go to the NFL. What's not a small school? Any FBS program. And number three, it is only a mock draft. And in the words of our esteemed poets, EPMD, you got to chill. It is only a mock. Don't be all tender with your feelings. And don't be all up in my mentions talking about, why do you have my team taking this guy? Why did this guy? What if we trade? Like, listen, I don't want to hear all that. It's mock draft. Sit back and enjoy learning about some small college prospects that you may not be familiar with. Helping the Browns quarterback situation with one of the best quarterbacks in this year's draft class in Alec Tozer of Penn. And Tozer is coming off an excellent career at Penn and a very good week of practice at the East-West Shrine game. He has the type of arm that can shrink a football field and is definitely one to keep an eye on come April. You don't break all of Jerry Rice's receiving records in college that stood for 32 years and not be able to play ball. Cooper Kupp was a 4-time All-American at Eastern Washington and will instantly improve the 49ers receiving core, which was, no offense, far worse than both the Eagles and Rams combined. The Bears need a quarterback, and Antonio Pipkin out of Tiffin would be a great fit. The Bears got an up-close look at him in Mobile, Alabama, and he has the athleticism to frustrate the defense and the accuracy in all aspects of the field to defeat tight coverage. Probably one of the best combo safeties in the draft is Adam Jones of Northwestern State. At 6'3", 215, Jones is very good in defending the alley versus the run, matched up in coverage, or playing traditional deep third. He'd be exactly what the Jaguars need on the back end. I'm a big fan of Brendan Langley's game out of Lamar. He's a longer corner that has a little bit of Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie to his game. The former Georgia Bulldog has terrific technique and ball skills, both of which were on display in Mobile. Javancy Jones of Jackson State is a pass rushing extraordinaire. Jones can play any one of the 3 linebacker positions, but with the Jets, he could serve as an inside linebacker next to last year's draft pick Darren Lee out of Ohio State. The Chargers bolster their offensive line with Bucknell's Julian Davenport, who was stellar all week long in Mobile. Davenport has the patience in his game to handle both speed and power rushers with ease. Tariq Cohen is instant offense, and you pair his Darren Sproles-like ability with someone like Cam Newton, and you'll see even more highlight runs from the diminutive runner like we saw throughout his career at North Carolina A&T. The Bengals get better within their front seven with Derek Rivers out of Youngstown State, and Rivers loves to rush the passer and can play up off the ground or in a traditional 7 technique like he did for the Penguins and be equally as disruptive. Corelle Hamilton out of Sanford has NFL-like savvy to his game. Don't let the small school designation fool you. Hamilton lit up Mississippi State for over 200 yards receiving this past season and was a standout this past January at the East-West Shrine game. Lorenzo Jerome would aid a Saints secondary that is devoid of playmakers, and Jerome routinely found the football throughout his career at St. Francis and definitely knows what to do with it once he has his hands on it. The Browns could stand to add a solid presence at inside linebacker, and Connor Harris of Lindenwood fits the mold. Harris was very good on both ends of defense during his entire week during the Senior Bowl. I almost went secondary here with a guy like Terrence Singleton out of Prairie View A&M, but I chose a quarterback position with Justin Vorik of Colorado School of the Mines. Vorik was a Harlan Hill Trophy winner, which is the Division II equivalent to the Heisman Trophy, and has the deep ball accuracy that head coach Bruce Arians covets. Getting help around Andrew Luck is always a top priority, so I went with help in the backfield with Southern's LeonardTillery. And Tillery started his career with the Jaguars as a walk-on, but ended up leaving Baton Rouge as the Southwestern Athletic Conference's all-time leading rusher, which is definitely saying something. Tillery is good in every facet of the game and can even help out on special teams. Adding receiving talent for Carson Wentz is high on the Eagles' list of priorities this offseason, and Billy Brown of Shepherd would be an ideal fit. Brown at 6'4", 245 has Jordan Reed-like skills that can be a matchup nightmare anywhere on the field. The Ravens love to continue to add elite pass rushers, and Khyati Davis fits the bill out of Chattanooga. He can rush with both speed and power and is also very stout versus the run. Davis is another FCS Senior Bowler coming off an impressive week. Helping the Redskins on the back end with Ezra Robinson of Tennessee State. I like his ability to play both off coverage and tight man-to-man. Robinson has the requisite instincts and ball skills to be successful in the NFL. Continuing to strengthen the Titans' defense with linebacker for Romatie of Dartmouth. He's 6 feet, 240 pounds, with the ability to rush the quarterback. He'd be a very good inside linebacker in a 3-4 defense, making the Titans very formidable on defense this season. Keeping quarterback Jameis Winston productive is of the utmost importance for Tampa Bay. Wide receiver Chad Williams is a legit baller that can excel as an X in the NFL. He's the type of receiver that you can count on week to week because of the elite level consistency in his game. Getting better up front along the offensive line are the Broncos with the selection of Jordan Morgan of Kutztown. Morgan was a great left tackle in college, but will kick down inside as a guard and be just as dominant. He was tremendous in Mobile this past January. Tano Passanio plays a lot like Carlos Dunlap of the Cincinnati Bengals. The 6'7", 290-pound Villanova Wildcat still has upside to his game, and with his ability to play multiple spots up front, he'd be a great addition to the Lions' defensive line. Anthony Auclair of Laval, the Canadian college football version of Alabama, would be a great fit in Miami. I was most impressed with his blocking ability last month at the East-West Shrine game. His receiving skills are unquestioned and will be an every down tight end that Ryan Tannehill needs. Speaking of being an every down tight end, Eric Saulbert's skills out of Drake will be too good to take him off the field if you're the New York Giants. Saulbert was the number one option for the Bulldogs in the passing game, and his ability to beat one-on-one coverage would open things up completely for the G-men in the passing game. The Raiders strengthened their defensive line with Colin Bevins of Northwest Missouri State. Bevins has great hand usage and is ridiculously strong at the point of attack. He'd be able to help the Raiders better stop the run in 2017. I like linebacker Jordan Herdman of Simon Fraser. He was a standout in Mobile at the Senior Bowl and also his entire career at Simon Fraser, a football game plan preseason Division II All-American. Herdman was very good, or has very good acceleration to the ball carrier, and is one of those linebackers that actually looks to hit. Jerry Ugokwe of William & Mary was the model of consistency for the Tribe this year up front. Ugokwe has been a two-time All-Conference performer and an All-American and would instantly upgrade the Seahawks' offensive line. In Kansas City, I helped the defense get better with inside linebacker Chase Allen of Southern Illinois, and Allen is really good at rushing the quarterback, but also in coverage. He could start from day one and will be an immediate impact player for the Chiefs. The Cowboys need someone they can trust on a week-to-week basis coming off the edge, and Avery Moss of Youngstown State will be exactly what they need. The counterpunch to Derek Rivers, Moss was tremendous in his own right getting to the quarterback and was also a standout at the East-West Shrine game. Linebacker Austin Calitro out of Villanova is a highly instinctive player who I believe can upgrade the Packers' linebacking core and will make them much better versus the run this year. Calitro also is another one of these backers that can provide pass rushing from the inside. Derek Griffin of Texas Southern is a unique talent, the 6'7", 240-pound wide receiver and or tight end and power forward. Yes, he was a star power forward on the Tigers basketball team as well. Will be a great move piece within this Steelers offense and be a problem for opposing defenses to match up against. The Patriots add a talented playmaker in the secondary in Kennesaw State's Dante Blackman, and Blackman has the ball skills and physicality to thrive in the Pats defense. He picked off 6 passes this season, bringing 1 back to the house. The Falcons add talent along the defensive line with Carter Schultz of Northern Iowa, the 6'3", 262-pound Buck Buchanan Award winner, which is given to the top defensive player in the FCS, finished his career with 56 TFLs and 35.5 sacks. The Los Angeles Rams get a boost at the tight end position with Fordham's Faison Odom, the 6'8", 245-pound Odom has above-average receiving skills and is still finding his way as a blocker. Now, he was a bit of an enigma this season for the Rams, but the talent and upside is still there and would help bolster the receiving options around quarterback Jared Goff. To help either Sam Bradford or Teddy Bridgewater next season, I went with Javarius Lemann out of South Carolina State, the 6'7", 328-pound left tackle, has very good footwork and athleticism, which keeps him on the right side of the block each and every play, and he rarely gives up a sack. He'd be a great addition to the Vikings' offensive line.